tous à tous, vidéo du 10 décembre sur le jeu Sherlock Holmes. Hop. Non. Retour. Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment. Et c'est parti, nouvelle partie. Pourquoi c'est écrit en russe? On sait pas. En ukrainien, pardon. Frogware present Crime and Punishment de Sherlock Holmes. Mycroft Holmes. Ce jeu a l'air grave cool. L'icône déduction apparaît quand vous trouverez, d'accord? Chaque fois que vous terminez un personnage, résumé dans le portrait de votre carnet. Oh, intéressant. Pour obtenir de l'aide sur le jeu d'interface, appuyez sur F1. Continuez. Qu'est-ce que...
Holmes, will you stop that?
Qu'est-ce qui se passe encore?
Utterly mad.
Allez. Qu'est-ce que tu fous? Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Ok. Alors, plusieurs trucs. Qu'est-ce qui vous amène, inspecteur? Je sais pas, peut-être le fait que vous tiriez sur des vases en pleine rue? Non, c'est... Non, c'est pas interdit là-bas, c'est... D'accord. Je vais prendre mon flingue puis je vais tirer dans mon appart, hein, il n'y aura aucun problème. Appuyez sur Tab pour ouvrir votre carnet et vérifier votre avancée dans l'enquête. D'accord. Ok. Je marche. Ouah, par contre. Ah, voilà, c'est déjà... Putain, c'est horrible la sensibilité de ce jeu. Ouah, ça va mieux. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je fasse?
This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it.
Ouais, entrons dans la chambre de Holmes. Ah ah! Ah! C'est dégueulasse. Pourquoi c'est bloqué ça? Hop, ça. Je vais mettre le petit. Peut-être trop flaquette. B. Complet clair, ça me va très bien. Quoi? C'est de la merde. Je suis moche, c'est pas grave. Allez, c'est parti.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Oh.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Allez. Allez, c'est parti, on y va. Ouais. D'accord, on a tout le log. Continuez. Allez, c'est parti. D'ailleurs, au passage, parce que c'est une vidéo de l'avant, donc on teste plein de jeux différents, des choses comme ça. Dites-moi dans les commentaires si vous voulez un let's play dessus.
Come on.
Dites-moi si vous voulez un let's play dans les commentaires. Après, soit en pouce bleu, soit en commentaire, un peu importe. Mais ça Ça suffira à me dire si vous,
These footprints appear to be quite large.
si vous aimez bien cette vidéo. Et les vidéos de l'avant en général.
It seems that the garden was well maintained. It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Sauron. Œil de Sauron. Concentration extrême.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Là, y a rien. Ok. Comme de jardinage. Élément inhabituel cette nuit-là.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Y a-t-il un
The
jardinier?
garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Le soir avant le meurtre.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Un homme fort sympathique. Comment avez-vous
Do
dit?
you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
You
Vie
have
normale.
indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Ah! Choisissez la preuve que vous... Comment êtes-vous au courant pour Pilmont? Je sais pas. Roll the dice! Roll the dice, plus. Un des 4. 2! Profil de la victime.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Je pense que c'était pèlerinage.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Ah! Le pèlerinage.
You undertook a pilgrimage.
J'en étais sûr! J'en
J'en
étais sûr, c'est ce que je voulais mettre depuis le début.
That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that
bon?
you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you
J'étais sûr que
married
c'était
him
pèlerinage
soon
parce qu'elle avait une croix.
afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Tab! Je laisse passer sa vie à la campagne, quelque part entre les vieilles forêts et les Pendenverse. Et je ne sais trop quoi, en Écosse, territoire de la mésange huppée. Très pieuse, elle a effectué un pèlerinage à Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle dans ses jeunes années. Très bien, mais si elle n'était plus heureuse avec son mari, elle l'a peut-être tué, étant donné qu'il arrêtait pas de passer son temps à boire comme un taureau. Ah,
Mr. Holmes?
pas aller là-dedans. Rien du tout ici. Étrange. Allez. Je peux pas rentrer. Ah. C'est bizarre toutes ces ordures. Que va-t-il faire? Une vie difficile en raison de son mariage malheureux avec Peter. Très catholique, elle est partie en pèlerinage à Compostelle dans ses jeunes années. D'accord. C'est la même chose. Enquêter.
It seems that the garden was
Encore
well maintained.
entretenu, là. Allons voir la cabane.
These footprints appear to be quite...
Objet requis. Intéressant.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch. Mr. Holmes?
Nous avons pris soin de ne toucher à rien. Nous sommes quand même flics. Il faut pas non plus exagérer. Je suis inspecteur.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Enfin, un truc intelligent.
Hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Let me see.
These scratches are fresh.
Récente.
You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Un pied de biche, ça suffit, non? Je sais pas, c'est... Simple remarque.
What a terrible way to die.
Alors, examinons tout ça. Oh.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this glass.
Deux verres, c'est-à-dire un invité.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Lumière, y a rien à dire. Allez.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Ah ah, comme ça. Oh. Attends. Putain, c'est dur. Putain, c'est dur. C'est bon là. Ah.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Putain, c'est dur. Ah, c'est dur. Putain. Bon. Examinons le cadavre.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Ouais.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Ou alors il s'habillait juste normalement.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Sûrement un écolo de merde.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Ouais, enfin. Le coup de harpon est violent.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. JHN.
Non!
The
Ah.
pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Allez, ouvrons. Les attaches de sang. Ok.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Ah, on dirait des coordonnées. Ok.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack.
Ouais. Merci Holmes.
The tooth of a sperm whale. Probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Mais il manque quelque chose. Ouais.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Eh oui! Il est pas con le Sagius!
Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Allez, en faisant une petite déduction. Affirme que c'était son mari qui entretenait le jardin. Je suis sceptique. Cache quelque chose. Également au cœur pendant les initiales et du canard. Calepin avec la tentative d'effraction. Faudra un sketch ce soir au cas où l'auteur de tentative reviendrait.
Ha! Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Examinons le contenu de cette boîte.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
42. Parfait.
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
Et pourquoi tu lui as pris ses bottes? C'est pas bien de dépouiller les morts, Holmes, hein? C'est pas bien. Attention. Lestrade, j'ai à vous parler.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Fournissez vos armes. Très bien. Et bah sur ce, on va s'arrêter là. Oula, d'accord. On va s'arrêter là tout simplement. Dites-le moi si vous voulez un let's play sur ce jeu. Dites-le moi dans les commentaires. Lâchez des pouces bleus, bref. La totale. Je vous fais de gros bisous et je vous dis à demain pour la vidéo du 11. Allez, plus.